Liam was diagnosed at 3.5 with restrictive cardiomyopathy. And then we find out that his heart is sick, and we were told the day he was diagnosed that it wasn't a matter of if, but when he would need a heart transplant.
The hospital we were at said, this is all we can do. You should have your kids come in. We talked about organ donation. We thought she was going to die the first day she was with us.
I'm a nurse, and so my job is to fix kids. My job is to heal them and make them better and send them home. And I couldn't do it for my son. The other part is I'm a mom, and so my love and my kisses are supposed to make things better, and I couldn't make my son better.
Oftentimes, it's just you waiting in the hospital, watching the machines, watching the medicine drips, wondering, is this all there is for my child?
Developing expertise in taking care of children with heart failure has been a struggle for decades.
Like many things in pediatrics, unfortunately, our numbers are smaller, right? There's just not as many children as there are adults. It's also important to realize that more children die of heart disease than any other disease.
With that being said, it's very hard to do traditional research. So it's hard to do randomized controlled trials. A lot of our experience is anecdotal, and so there's no great way to learn except for collaboration.
In pediatrics, severe heart failure is one of the scariest and deadliest conditions we face. We quickly realized early on that the only way we could get better is through collaborating and working together.
So the Action Learning Network is a wonderful organization that allows for really quite nimble change in practice so that experiences at one location can be rapidly communicated with other locations and implemented at other locations, allowing for an optimization of outcomes in a very short time span.
ACTION stands for the Advanced Cardiac Therapies Improving Outcomes Network. So ACTION started in 2017. So there were 5 institutions that felt very strongly that we needed to really focus on pediatric stroke, specifically in the devices. The patients on devices were having a stroke rate that was much higher than we found acceptable.
As the doctor who's on the front line, every stroke takes a little bit out of you. You take it home with you. And so I think it's with that passion and that dedication which has really moved this forward, because we live this with these families each day. And so one less stroke that we can cause is ultimately one less stroke that these children will have to live with.
When Liam had his stroke, I don't know the specifics, but I'm pretty sure there was a handful of people that our team could call. Now, there are 30 plus facilities. That's phenomenal.
So we started as 5 centers working really closely together to try to share protocols, learn from variation, and we quickly grew over 2 years to greater than 40 centers. Our growth shows the strength of the network and the people that are involved in it, but also the power of the problems.
And there are still places in this country today where parents are told that their child has no option and has to go home on hospice. Yet, if they just happen to live in another state or were close to another hospital, they could get a device and live for many years.
I've personally been working in pediatric heart failure and pediatric VAD support for over 20 years, and I've been extremely frustrated by the inability to move the field forward quickly enough. I'm thrilled with the kind of progress we've been able to make in just 2 years in action, but I think it's really transforming our ability to evolve in the future as well.
It makes me feel good because everybody from around the world can get the same care. Everybody from around the world can put their experiences, because everybody's different.
I think it's really good that people can have a voice and someone to talk to and share experiences. So I think that Action Network is really something good for not only the patients, but families and supporters.
This network has over 40 different leaders from all the different institutions, and we have some parent leaders as well, so it's not just clinical providers that are leaders. And every single leader has a story or kind of a genesis moment that has given them the passion for what they're doing in the network.
I have a daughter who has had a kidney transplant, and I remember going through the roller coaster that brings, right? I tell these families that it does get better. There is hope, and I know it seems really, really bad right now, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Instead of hoping minute to minute or hour to hour, you get to hope year to year. Like, I get to celebrate my child's next birthday, or I get to see my kid graduate from kindergarten. And you don't even dare to think about those things before that because it's not a possibility. But thanks to organ transplant, it is. And thanks to this community, doctors and nurses, and moms that have been there before that will cry with you. That's what this is all about. It's healing and hope.
I see nowadays in medicine, it's hospital against hospital. It's all competition. But as one of the things that we think about action is collaboration is much stronger than competition. That's what medicine should be about.
Within Action, we have made it a very important part of our business to the highest quality data. And that's what excites me, that it drives a lot of treatment and advancement in the field. This underlying data is the basis of all of that.
I believe that the data that they're collecting and the work that they're doing, this is really going to be really the most reliable and accurate source and complete source of data available for the field of pediatric heart failure and pediatric mechanical circulatory support. And I think in the future will really make a tremendous difference for the patients in their care and outcomes.
So now I feel like the sky's the limit, and really we've moved beyond just singularly looking at stroke as something to improve upon, but why can't we improve upon the quality of life of these children? We can get these children to stay alive, but now we really want to let them live.
That is exactly what Action is. It's all of us working together so that there's not another Liam, there's not another Keely, there's not another Corbin or Grayson or Samson or Ava, so that another parent doesn't have to hear we don't have options for you or you're not a candidate. You have options, and options that allow you to live and to live a really good life.